Hey, this is Noah. I am making do on a promise that I made in an older video before I went on hiatus to talk about Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, and I have quite a bit that I'd like to say.
In my mind, I think it's funny too that that Nickelodeon All-Star Battle game was announced. That being said, I'll probably cover Nickelodeon All-Star Battle. It looks like an interesting time.
This is going to be kind of in-depth and technical by comparison to maybe what you're expecting out of me, but I'm going to talk about what differentiates this game from some of the other platform fighters that exist now, namely Rivals of Aether, Super Smash Bros., and the like. So, just like in Rivals of Aether, you can wave dash, and you can do a maximum wave dash by fully angling your stick horizontally as opposed to having to jump and angle it into the ground. Other ones like Rushdown Revolt have a wave dash macro, which could be appreciated here, but it ends up working out. In this game, you don't really have forward tilt options, you just have a neutral option. So you don't have forward tilt, you just have a jab. So it is what it is. This goes for in the air as well, you just have a neutral air, no forward air. But you have a down one, upward one. You have strong attacks, a down strong, up strong, forward strong, all that. But you also have those in the air as well. This is very interesting. Every character's grab works like a cargo throw with Donkey Kong. You can carry them around, and then you have your throws. There's no pummeling, which is okay. I never did those anyway because I suck. What's interesting about this mechanic is that you can use this to actually grab projectiles. And then you can throw it back. Your guards are interesting because you can't break it. No matter how much damage you do, it will remain the same, though you can do damage through the guard. What's interesting, though, is once you get pushed over to a ledge, you get put into a vulnerable state. Between the guards never breaking and the ability for you to grab the projectiles, this gives every character ample opportunity to stop projectile spam. So you could do things like shield, grab, and then wave dash in, throw it, whatever, what have you. Obviously you can do your air dashes, and this is cool. It doesn't act as a dodge like many other of the indie platform fighters, and this is fine. But what's interesting is that your downward one is a lot faster. You'll see. This is your fast fall in the game. You can't fast fall normally. It doesn't work. So if you want to do combos, you gotta make sure that you're using that. It works quite well. In Super Smash Bros., normally you can only do a fast fall once you have reached the apex of your jump. In Rivals of Aether, they have made it so that you can actually move much faster so long as you're connecting your moves by allowing you to fast fall the second you have made contact with your opponent with an attack. But with this, since you can air dodge in the middle of your aerial attacks, at least doing the downward one, you can technically do it at any point. So it ends up producing a similar result, so your air combos can be much faster. Another unique feature is the rock, paper, scissors that happens with your smashes. If you have your smashes collide with an opponent, normally that happens, but see that? Down beats forward, forward beats up, and up beats down. This gives it some of the dynamic that like games like Killer Instinct have, where you can do combo breakers. I suppose theoretically, if you know your opponent is about to try to finish you with a smash attack, if you know which one they're going to do, you can easily turn the tide by using the opposing smash attack and beat them. You ever have that problem where you end up using your tilt or your smash or any of your attacks in the wrong direction? We got a strafe button, buddy. It makes it so you face the same direction, no matter what, as long as you're holding the button. It can take time to get used to, but it's very useful once you have mastered it. As I mentioned before, you don't have any forward tilts, but you do have a dash attack. But what's interesting is this game doesn't have dashing, per se. When you walk at the same set speed. You have a dash attack and you have a strong dash attack. Instead, this game basically says you just have to make sure you walk for a certain amount of time before you can actually perform the dash attack. In terms of a roster, we have a pretty good array. I think some might agree that the roster is pretty retro. And to be fair, you know, a game like this is clearly being designed mechanically for an older Smash playing audience. So it kind of makes sense why you would highlight these ones. Like, no Zoomer knows what Powdered Toast Man is, my guy. I barely knew what Powdered Toast Man was, my guy. Come on now. The only modern shows that they really have represented here are SpongeBob, which barely even counts if we're being honest, and The Loud House, which I'm just like, what is that? Everything else here is from, like, my childhood. And I'm aged. I get that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles might be considered somewhat modern, but these Turtles designs are not the modern Turtles designs. These are the old ones. And even if you do their alternate costume, it's like the comic book look, so it's even more retro. You might say this is a little bit of a problem, and if I'm being honest, I don't personally find it an issue because I'm biased, but I can get why people would be not happy with that for younger audiences. Personally, I'm a big fan of Leonardo. I'm always a fan of the sorties. Garfield is quite good. I enjoy playing as Shredder as well. I kind of appreciate that they have Reptar in this instead of some of the actual Rugrats, because I feel like there would be some issues with having you beating up babies. I guess you could have the all-grown-up versions, but that's certainly not the more iconic versions of the characters. I wish people would dig into this game more, because there is opportunity to get some sauce going. Like, Danny Phantom's got some spooky junk, where if you do his, I think it's his down aerial strong attack, right near the ground, you can get him to, like, Super Wavedash. Yeah, there it is. There it is. If you do it just right, you're fully actionable, and you obviously go much farther than you would if you just did a wave dash. Like, there's opportunity there for some sauce, and I'm like, that's what I like to see. But ain't nobody want to talk about that.
This is your fault.
Anyway, I think that's plenty of time now. Play this game. This is Noah, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. See ya.